The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
This is a story that just happened that I was involved in. A girl called me about 10 days ago. She's not feeling, a girl that I deal with, that I know very well, that she's very worried, she's not feeling well, and her whole body is full of black and blue marks. No one hit her or anything, she's just breaking out with black and blue marks and she doesn't feel well. I said, I didn't want to tell her that, that's a sign of leukemia, a blood cancer. A very big sign of it when you have breakout in black and blue marks. And when I told her, I said, you need to go to a hospital immediately. So she went to a hospital, not a big hospital, and her bloods came back. She had no blood. She had no blood in her body. Like, you're supposed to have like 120,000 white blood cells. She had 6,000, 4,000. They pretty much looked at her blood and said, you have leukemia. Kidneys weren't working well. Everything was wrong. And they said, you have leukemia, you're going to have to take chemo, we have to send you, whatever it is. I said, listen, it's a small hospital. Go to Columbia. Let's go to the best. And let's go to big doctors and let's see what they have to say. And now this is a girl that is a cutter, always tells me, I just want to die. If Hashem if it wasn't an Avera to die, I would kill myself right away. I don't want to live. I'm in pain. I want to die. She's a cutter, stitches, stuff, crazy stuff, like, doesn't want to be here. She calls me. They said it's leukemia. It's Rabbi Wallerstein. I don't want to die. Crying. I don't want to die. I just said that always. But if I have leukemia, I'm going to die. Rabbi, do something. I'm like, I thought you wanted to die. So Hashem, maybe you dive into Hashem. He listened to you. No, I just talk like that. Do something. Call a rabbi. Do something. I was like, okay, let's go to Columbia. Let's see what happens. She goes to Columbia. They take the first blood test. You're like 95%. You have leukemia. And you have very bad leukemia because it doesn't usually have black and blue marks so fast. 95%. No, there's always 5% that we're wrong. Whatever. Okay? We're going to do a special blood test tomorrow. She says, can you call someone in Israel? Can you do something? I really don't want to die. She's crying the whole time on the phone. I'm like, okay. You're not going to die. Hashem can do miracles. Don't get so nervous. Easy for me to say. They don't even know how she was living. She came in with so little blood. They were like, this is a miracle that you're living, that you didn't collapse, you didn't faint. Like, this is crazy. Okay. I called Eretz Yisrael. I'm not going to tell you who I call. I don't get a lot of phone calls. I'm not giving away who I called. I called this Makobel, and I'm like, I'm not telling them what's wrong. I'm like, I have a girl, this is her name. Whatever her name is. Dina Bas Malka, doesn't matter. If that wasn't her name. Gave her name and her mother's name. Okay, call me back in a few minutes. Call back. She has something very wrong in her blood. Okay. I didn't tell this person what was wrong. Tell her, if she takes on Shabbos, she doesn't keep Shabbos, kosher or anything. If she takes on Shabbos for the rest of her life, that the next blood test she'll see miracles. I said, that's it. Tell her to keep Shabbos. Hang up. Okay? I call her up. I'm like, listen, I gave your name. I didn't tell them what was wrong. They right away knew it was blood. Said, if you take on Shabbos, you will see a miracle. I can't. I can't do Shabbos. Rabbi, I can't do Shabbos. Tell Kobo that I will take out all my piercings and keep kosher. I can't do Shabbos. Okay? Call back. I'm like, she can't do Shabbos, but she's willing to keep kosher. She has to keep kosher and give me all her piercings. Tell her that will not help. She has to keep Shabbos. Okay? I'm not arguing. I call her back. I'm like, sorry. Shemayim wants Shabbos. You got to keep Shabbos. No, I can't. How? I'm like, you told me you want to live. I made the phone call. You got to keep Shabbos. Okay? I'll keep Shabbos. You have to help me. What time? I'll keep Shabbos. Okay. They take this crazy blood test. It takes 2 days. It's right before Yantiv. Comes back. There's no cancer in the blood. But leukemia, many times, is not in the blood yet. It's in the bone marrow. Before the blood, it goes into the bones. So it's very possible that you have it in your bone marrow, but it didn't go into your blood. But we're taking you down from 95% leukemia to 60% leukemia. Okay, it's better. We need to take bone marrow. It's an operation. Friday, Erev Yontif, we're going to take bone marrow from your hip, and we'll study the bone marrow, and we'll let you know what we find. So, Erev Yontif, last Friday, they took the bone marrow, they put her out, of course, the second operation. They took the bone marrow. The bone marrow came back yesterday. No cancer cells. 0. What's going on? It's called plastica anemia. It's a disease of the blood, extremely curable, nothing to do with cancer. You got to get a blood transfusion every once in a while. They watch you, and usually it heals itself. If it doesn't, then they do a bone marrow transplant and you're fine. I said, Shabbos. Did you keep Shabbos that Shabbos when Shabbos Yontif that just came by? She said, I kept Shabbos. So today I spoke to her. It's like a different person. I'm like, so you want to live? You want to get married? You want to have children? Like, what happened? She goes, I don't want to die, Rabbi. I cannot thank you enough. I said, don't thank me, but don't mess Shabbos up. That was a warning. She is home. She's not in the hospital anymore. They said, you got to come every week, 2 weeks, and just test your blood to make sure everything's okay. But the biggest doctor said 95% leukemia. There's not a story I read in the Mishpacha, in the Bina. Someone told me. I'm telling you the story. The story's from me. I was the guy that made the phone call to Eretz Yisrael. And I asked her this morning, I said, I'm going to seminary. Could I not mention your name, not mention where you're from and all that? Can I tell them the story? And she's like, 100%. Well, the story's not over. The story's not over. Her father called me this morning and said, I am a great-great-grandchild of a very big tzaddik. He told me the name of the tzaddik, who, from 1920, whatever it is, but I know the tzaddik who did miracles for many, many people. And my daughter is a great-great-granddaughter. Meanwhile, I needed a miracle for somebody, went to this great-grandfather's grave, prayed there, got a miracle, and now I gave back. I didn't give it back, but whatever. What goes around comes around. Crazy story. Shabbos. Kosher. Nope. Piercings. Nope. Don't mess with Shabbos, girls. Don't mess with Shabbos.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org